Hey guys, Jimmy H here. How's everybody doing today? Hope you're all having a great day. Thanks for tuning in to another video. I want to talk about emergency funds for this video and who should have emergency fund, how much should we have for in our emergency fund, and why we should have our emergency fund. All right, so stay tuned. So who should have an emergency fund? Well, everybody, in my opinion. Everybody should have an emergency fund. But once again, I'm not a financial advisor. I'm just another random guy on YouTube. And if you're gonna, take any financial advice, please talk to a certified financial planner. Anyhow, yes, everybody should have an emergency fund, and that's really what it's for. It's called emergency fund for a reason, for when emergency happens, for when your car breaks down, when your roof needs to get replaced, when you lose your job, when there's a medical emergency that came up, emergency, right? So yeah, I think everybody should have one. If you don't have one now, I advise you to, go ahead and open one. It could be a saving account at a regular local bank of yours. It doesn't earn a lot of interest, but at least the funds is there for you to use if needed. I personally have mine in a Fidelity brokerage account, and I have it under SGov. So I put all my cash and I buy SGov, which is short-term bonds, and treasury bills and whatnot. And it's like 0 to 3 months, so it's very fluid and liquid. So yes, that's where I put my emergency fund, and it's in the same category as my travel fund. So it's kind of like a catch-all account for me. I name it travel fund, to be honest, not emergency fund, but I put it all in there, and I don't touch that money unless I either, one, go on a vacation, I need the funds, or emergency, right? Yeah, so how much do you think I put in there? I had a video years ago that I said between 3 and 6 months. I still stand by that, but I'm leaning towards the 6 month timeline. And the reason why I like it to be closer to 6 months than 3 months, as I did before, is because 6 months will give you a good cushion, a very good cushion. 3 months sometimes is not enough if it's really a big emergency. Like if you lose your job, 3 months, yeah, you could probably find another job, but with the job market now, people getting laid off, and AI is kind of taking over, and it's kind of a little bit harder to find a job. I have a lot of friends that has degrees and whatnot, and still looking for a job, can't land a decent, full-time job and whatnot, and have to take scraps jobs, part-time jobs and whatnot, or contract jobs, right? So yeah, so 6 months is probably a good cushion, so half a year. Once you hit your half a year, when I say half a year, meaning half a year of your yearly expenses. Like for me, I'm looking at about $30,000, right? So most of my expenses were about 60 to 70,000. So once I reached that $30,000 range, I kind of slow down and stop. 30,000 will last me 6 months. I spend on average about 5,000 a month. So 5 times 6 is 30,000. So that's kind of where I set the 30,000 target. I don't want to put more than that, is because if you put more than that, it's just dead money, right? It's dead money in a sense where you're not really making your money work for you. Money only works when there's a velocity of money, right? Money moves. And having a 6 months emergency fund, travel fund, like I call mine, is perfect. I can dip into it when I need it, when an emergency, or when I take a vacation somewhere with my family. I can dip into it. 30,000 is plenty, right? Like I said, I'm trying to have that fund available for me whenever I need it. I recently touched it for a trip of ours, but now I'm kind of refilling it back. But once I hit that 6 month, timeline, or the amount that's going in there, it's gonna get stopped. I'm not gonna put any more in there. And how I'm putting in it there is automatic. So every paycheck I get paid every 2 weeks. Fidelity just withdraw $250 to $300 from my checking account. It goes straight to that brokerage account of mine, and then every 2 weeks it just repeats itself. And sometimes I draw in more money, like if I get a bonus from a workplace, or if it gets some spare cash. It doesn't have to be hundreds. It could be like $25, $75, $100, right? I'll just transfer it manually into the brokerage account, and it sits in there. Like I said, I get SGov, or I just leave it as cash. Cash gets 3.66. It's the Fidelity Cash, which is the SPAC, SPAX, which is a ticker symbol, but it's really their cash. It doesn't go up or down. It's always $1. And for SGov, it's a government, treasury bill, short term, whatnot. So it's very reliable too as well. It might fluctuate 50 cents or not up or down, but it's very, very flat. And it's always also giving 3-point-something% interest rate. Not interest rate, but dividends, sorry. And I just let it compound. I don't withdraw the cash out. I don't do anything unless it's an emergency, right? And another reason why I put in a Fidelity account is because then if I go overseas, I have a Fidelity debit card, which I can use at any international ATM, and they don't have any foreign transaction fee or anything like that. So all that's waived. So that's like a little bit of a bonus and a perk. So as far as why, I just kind of told you why in a nutshell, but why is really for an emergency, right? Like there's people in the world right now that lost their job. If they have $30,000 in an account that was never touched, losing a job won't be a struggle, right? If you don't have that fund or that amount sitting there, it's going to be a struggle because then how are you going to come up with the monthly expenses that you need? Like for me, for example, I say I use about $5,000 a month in expenses. So if I don't have the 30,000 laying there, say I only have 5,000, that's only 1 month. And I better hustle and bust my ass to look for another job or somehow get a loan from somebody that doesn't look into my job history and whatnot. So it has to be a relatives or a family member or whatnot. And that's going to be a hassle. But if I have $30,000, I can actually take my time and look for a job, interview for jobs that I like, and I don't have to just rush into it, any kind of job, right? So it's a little cushion, a little buffer and whatnot. So that's kind of like the why, right? So we hit on who needs it. I think everybody should need it. If you don't have one right now, you should start one. It doesn't have to be big. You could put $100 a month, just grow it up, right? And eventually you get the hang of it. You can add more and more and more. And as far as how much, I told you 6 months. 6 months in, and you should stop. Don't put in more than 6 months, because anything more than 6 months, you're actually not putting more value into the money. You have more than enough to survive off an emergency, and then the other one you should invest it, right? So that's why I said 6 months should be the max. Some people say 6 months to a year, but to me, honestly, in my opinion, 6 months is a good sweet spot, not a year. A year will be good. Honestly, yes, I agree with those who say up to a year, but I'd rather invest the difference after 6 months than put it up to a year's expense. As for why, I just told you all the reasons why. I don't think I want to repeat myself on that, but yeah, guys, the emergency fund is very important. You should definitely open one if you don't have one. And once again, like I said, if we don't have one, open one. And if you do have one, 6 months is kind of the top what I would recommend. And for why is all the reasons why. Emergency means emergency, right? All right, guys, so until the next video, if you have any topics you want to talk about, or you have any discussions about emergency funds and whatnot about this topic, leave it in the discussion. And for those new to this channel, think about subscribing. I talk about all financial topics and whatnot. Anything that comes to mind, I'll drop a video and whatnot, and try to grow the channel out. So help a brother out. Subscribe, like, and share. All right, and for your returning subscriber, thank you for your continued support. All right, guys, so until the next video, peace out.